Clicking on Instagram as well. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This is the 32nd episode of the Cabrini Kid podcast. I am your host, the Cabrini Kid himself, David Haywood, the champ. Mm, mm, mm. To my left, we got our illustrious Mr. Perkins. To you on IG, you can find him, Mr. Keenan KP Perkins. Say what's up to the
Burr, burr,
people.
burr, burr. What's good? What's good? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
Hump
Glad to
Day
see you
back
guys.
with us. And
Happy
directly
Wednesday.
below the both of us, we have Kadriana Heishman here with us. Say what's up to the people.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody who's going to join here in just a second. Remember, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, share the stream with everybody you know. We're trying to get there. If you want to call in today, the number is down here below. Call in and you can speak to any one of us. You can also go and shop at the Savinci store, www.savinci.store. You can use promo code ART25 to save 15% on everything in your cart. All right, we're going to kick it off. We're going to talk about soft launching. Promo code. Soft launching your next significant other.
Yes.
For everybody out there who's not familiar with what soft launching is, if you look at a girl, let's say you follow a girl on Instagram or Facebook and you see her post a picture of her out and it's just an extra set of shoes in the picture or an elbow that's tatted up or a man's watch next to the dinner plate, that's a soft launch. At what point do you guys think that it's appropriate to soft launch your significant other?
Ooh, what point?
Never.
See, I'm all for the soft launch. I think everybody should do a little soft launch just in case, especially during that trial time period.
Just in case.
Just in case.
So you're preparing for if this doesn't work out.
Yeah, because we all have that one friend that has a different person every other month. Like every other month. I have one friend on Facebook and he has been married like 3 times. And this is all in the last 5 years. I've seen at least 10 different women every couple of months. And so I think maybe he should start just soft launching them. So ease into this, feel it out, because he's got about like a 60-day limit, I noticed, before the next cycle, before the next one. So he should be soft launching some of these women.
KP, have you ever had a girl say, "Why don't you post me?"
Yo, I've gotten into so many fights about posting and things like that. So I'm a firm believer in that, if you're not posting me, I'm not posting you. So this one particular person, she was always trying to get me to post her. And I was like, it's, you haven't posted me, so why would I post you? And the crazy part is she met another dude posting this motherfucker all the time.
Oh.
I was like,
that was intentional.
I was like, oh yeah? I was like, oh yeah? So, it's crazy, like they say in relationships, a dude will do what you want them to do. You just gotta it just has to be the right person. So, I have posted girls in my past. I think to be honest with you, there's maybe only 2 females on my whole Instagram page. But I have posted females in the past, and you know, if I post a girl, like if I post a girl, like, and we're like hugging or dating or whatever, I swear to you, my shit would be like, it should be my Instagram would be like, who is this girl? Who is this girl? Because A, they would be shocked that I would even do something crazy like that. And then 2, they would be like, I can't believe Keinon has someone, like this isn't the norm or whatever. But it's crazy. I have had girlfriends. I just don't like, I'm not someone who's just like always, you know, popping out with my girl or whatever. We do things and we do things together, but you know, we don't have to go to the bar scene together for you to know that I got a girlfriend or not.
But why? So if you're actually in a full-blown relationship, why not post them? Especially if you're happy.
No, if you're in a full-blown relationship, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
I'll post.
This is in the trial. He's talking about in the trial stages.
Yeah, in the trial stages. No. That is not happening. That is not happening.
So when I was maybe, this was like right after college. I would say I was maybe 23, 24 years old. And I had a core friend group in Chicago when I got back to Chicago, and we would always go out. It was probably half dudes, half girls, right? And the girls would always be like, Dave, let's take a picture. And I would take a picture and I would post it, right? And I remember a girl who wasn't in that friend group, but it was just a different girl that I knew. She told me, she was like, you know, you're never going to get a serious girlfriend if you keep posting all these girls. And I was like, well, why not? What does that have to do with anything? And she said, well, when you start dating a girl, she's going to want to feel that she has something special when you post her. And if you post every girl that you know, she's not going to feel special in that regard.
Right.
She was like, there's not going to be any like firsts or any milestones left for her because you do that with everybody. And I had never really heard it broken down like that. And when I was like, so I'm going back to my pictures. I'm like, damn, she's right. Like she's right. Like you wouldn't be able to tell which one was my girlfriend. Not like I was posed like inappropriately in the picture, but I might have my arm around them or I might be hugging them or something. Like you would never know. And so after that, I stopped doing it. And so I did get to the point where like if I posted a woman, we were dating. Not necessarily in a relationship, but we were dating.
Yeah, I get that. That's where I am with guys. But at what point, now say it doesn't work out and you posted her. Do you take it off immediately? Do you
immediately?
You take it off? Yeah?
Immediately. Gone. Like if me and Geneva broke up today, what's today? Wednesday. The pictures will be down by Friday.
Oh, really?
Man, her shit would be
like if I knew it was over,
yeah.
Like let's say I caught her cheating or something like that, and I knew it was over, the pictures will be down by Friday.
Wednesday night.
I don't necessarily want to continue to see them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make a big deal about it on social media, but there are people who lurk on your page, and when they see the pictures come down, we'll be like, oh shit, what happened? I see the pictures came down with you and your girl. You straight? Girls deal with that too. You know, if you have posted, you know, a whole bunch of pictures of you and a guy, and then all of a sudden one of the dudes that follows you sees all the pictures are gone.
Hey, big head.
Yep. Exactly. You okay?
You okay? What did he do to you?
The fire emojis come back under the selfies. Yep.
Eva said they will be down within an hour. No, she lying because she still got pictures up with her ex. So.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Dang, Geneva's like that? Man, that's crazy.
But I feel like
that's crazy.
I feel like soft launch is also disrespectful. Either post my whole me. Don't just post my Air Force One next to your stiletto to let your friends know I might have somebody.
Oh.
I might have a man, girl, or post my hand next to yours at the, I feel like the cliche picture of the girl taking a picture from the passenger seat and showing the guy in the driver's seat, but not the whole guy.
It could be just to make someone jealous.
Could be. We got Nick. Nick said, "What's good, y'all? I'm back." Nick, thank you for checking in. Glad to have you back. It could be to make somebody jealous.
You know?
Nick said, if I call in, I'm getting this channel banned. Please don't get the channel banned.
He's lying.
I heard it took people weeks to get their channel back. Please don't get the channel banned.
I don't really understand the soft launch thing, but either we launching or we not. But you ain't gonna post no half of me. Actually, I really don't care, to be honest with you. I've had girls who posted me on their page, and I didn't really care. I didn't post them, So it just really, I think it really depends on the situation. For me personally, now if it's someone who, a lot of women out here just kind of want to, see what kind of responses they get, as far as, oh girl, he's a dog, or oh girl, he's this, oh girl, I saw him with, oh girl, he does this, like,
they send a message. I'm just coming to you, woman to woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, some girls and they want to post to see if a friend knows a friend who knows a friend.
Oh my God.
Or sometimes some women are just pissing on their territory, and they're like, hey, like, this is my dude. Y'all see him with someone else, no, this is my dude, so on and so forth. But so I'm cool with that. I think that's kind of, to some degree, depending on the female, I think that's kind of sexy, but at the same time,
he said depending on the female.
Yeah, depending on the female. Like, I want a chick crazy about me, but not crazy about me, if that makes sense.
A little crazy.
That makes sense.
No, yeah.
Just a little crazy.
Just a medium crazy, like, like about me, not towards me. Like,
It's about you, though. About you.
Yeah, about me for sure. So soft launch me, I guess, but I don't know. Maybe I've been soft launched before. I guess maybe my hand has been in.
You may not have known it.
Yeah,
that's why they put you on the stories, because it's going in 24 hours if you don't look.
Right. Or if I don't follow them, which is possible. Excuse me. Then I probably could have been. I don't know. I probably could have been soft launched a few times. Damn, has somebody out there soft launched me before?
Comment if you soft launched him.
Call in right now if you soft launched KP without his knowledge.
That would be hilarious.
But I also feel like there's something to be said for people that you see, because I don't know if I've ever really seen a guy do it. Like, guys usually will show the whole woman, because especially if she's bad, they're gonna be like, I want everybody to see what I'm doing, right? But I think with women, I think it's different if you always see a woman soft launching somebody and you never see the whole dude. And I say that because I have several Facebook friends or Instagram friends or social media friends, and you'll see them from time to time soft launch a dude, but you never see the whole dude.
Because he's still in the period. He's still in the trial.
They never make it out the trial. We're talking about years.
Oh,
Some
years is
people like to keep their relationships private. especially women, because there are some women out there that'll see your man, will like what they see, and will go after that man. There are some women who just have that like nastiness to them.
But do you feel like she can get your man?
Me? If
Has
you
it
can get
happened
my
to you?
man, he's not my man. Like, you can have him. If you can get him, you can have him.
But I guess what I'm asking is, do you feel like if I'm in a relationship with a man, another woman can't get him?
No, but there's just some women who like to keep their relationships private. I like to keep my relationships private online.
Same.
Because I just don't feel that everybody needs, there's some things you got to keep to yourself. Like, we post everything, every aspect of our lives. There's some things you have to have for just you.
I'm surprised hearing that coming from a woman, because most women want to be shown.
Most women want to be shown. She's saying she keeps her relationship private.
Yeah.
She didn't say the guy does.
But and if he wants to post me, he can. But I've never asked the guy, why don't you post me? It doesn't matter to me one way or the other.
But I guess what I'm asking is, are you afraid that he can be gotten?
Why I don't post my man?
Yeah, like what's your confidence level when you're in a relationship? If you're in a relationship, do you feel like I'm getting in a relationship with this person because I know if a girl hits him up if I post him and a girl hits him up talking whatever, that she has no chance of getting with him?
I mean, there's always a chance, because I used to think that, I used to be like, no, nobody can get my man, and it happened. So there's always a chance. I mean, for anybody. I mean, Beyonce got cheated on, so there's always a chance. But for me, if you can take my man, you can have him, because that's not my man. My man is not going to be easily taken.
Nick says, hot take. I'm not a huge fan of a girl being crazy about me. Like, yes, love me, respect me, honor me, but don't be too damn crazy, you know? I keep mine private. I rarely post my relationship because don't nobody care about us, vice versa. I don't care about others.
So when I say crazy about me, I do mean those things, but I mean like someone who's like my biggest fan, like my best friend. She's gonna pump me up, like my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader. Like, she's Team Keinon, ride or die, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by crazy about me. Not like wanting to check my phone, crazy about me, like shit like that. Not like that.
Keinon, where are you going?
Yeah. We don't need to have our locations on, stuff like that. No, not doing that.
You wouldn't share your location with her?
No.
Even if she asked, or she was like, "Hey, babe, just for safety, let's share each other's locations."
No. I'd have a seek to understand conversation. And I would want to know why she would want our locations, you know? And then if it was my girl of some years, whatever. But if this is like a new thing, hell no. I mean, it's gotta be years, like probably 2+ before I even would think about sharing a location. No.
Kadriana, what about you? Would you share if a guy was like, "Hey, you know what? I know we've been dating for, a couple of months, but it's a crazy world. Things happen every day. Like, let's just share each other's locations so that way, if something happens and the police ask me, do you know where Kadriana is? Oh, yeah, she's at the nail salon, blah, blah, blah. This is where her location is."
Yeah, I've shared my location before. But my man's going to know where I am. Most of the time, I share my location with my friends, my kids. Yeah.
That's different.
Because I don't have any reason to not share my location. Like, it's not like I'm trying to go anywhere that I don't need my man to know.
Me neither. But why do you want someone like constantly on you?
Well, it's like, if he says it like that, like, I just want to make sure you're safe. You go out with your girls. Because when I go out with my girls, I do share a location with somebody, and if I am with a man,
Yeah.
I will share my location with my man, just because I need you to know where I am. If I get in an Uber, so yeah, I would.
No, like I said, if it's a long-term relationship, I agree with you. But if it's something within a year up, no way, Jose. Now, if you're getting in an Uber and you're drunk and you want to share your location, I'm with that. We can unshare after in the morning. So after
That
I know
would
that
make
you
me
got home,
feel a
okay.
type of way. I think I would feel a certain type of way if it just automatically unshared. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that at all.
Because you'd be like, well, why? Because I feel like the first thought that will pop in your head or a woman's head is, why you want me to know where you at?
Yeah. What are you doing now that I can't know where you are?
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. No, I can't have that.
Mike says he cheat too much to share his location.
Oh, this guy, man. I swear, this guy. Oh, man. Hey, black men don't cheat. No, I don't. No, cheating is over.
Let that be known.
No cheating. No cheating. No cheating. I don't agree with cheating
anymore.
I was just about to say anymore. He's a changed man.
I am a changed man. That was the old Keinon. Remember, we talked about it. That was the old Keinon. No longer. I don't agree with it. Kids, don't do it. Don't do it. It's bad for you. But I'm not sharing my location. No way, no how. It's not happening. We got to be in a long-term relationship. Again, I think there's different rules to it. If you're in a new relationship, as soon as you get home, thank you, unshare. And then, I understand girls doing it with their girls, kids. I'm in 1,000% agreement with you on that. But boy, girl, nah. If we're just dating, no, I'm not sharing my location with you.
Mike said, "An old dog never forgets his tricks."
This guy.
I remember, and not to get nobody in trouble, so I'm not going to go too in depth. But if all of the technology that we have now was available, say, in the early 2000s. Like, I think back and I said, like, well, when I was in college, and that was toward the end of college, we just got Facebook. Like, Facebook just became a thing. We had MySpace. And then Facebook came, toward the end of college. That was like senior year number 1. But now, when kids are going to college, they're going to have Facebook, Instagram, and dating apps. Like, we didn't even have dating apps.
We didn't.
Boy, imagine if I had a dating app in college, bro.
Imagine if you had Tinder in college.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You don't even know. And I was putting up numbers then. I can only imagine what it would have been if there's dating apps. That would have been crazy. Crazy.
Nick said, Bass suggested I cheat on my 3-year relationship. He's my mentor, by the way. They snitching on each other in the chat.
Hey, that's crazy work, Nick. That's crazy work. Oh my God. Hey, Mike, that's crazy too, bro. Hey, these 2 dudes are 2 of the funniest dudes that you'll ever meet. I promise you. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. But no, the technology back in the day, if we would have had the technology now that we had, if we would have had the technology back in the day that we have now, yeah, I'd probably be dead. Some girl would have got mad and just.
You said dead, caught something.
Yeah, for sure. And I've had a waiting to exhale Angela Bassett moment just without the fire, like throwing throwing my stuff out over the balcony.
Yeah.
I've had that experience.
Oh.
I can only imagine, if we had the technology that we had now. I mean, she was a sleuth, and so I can only imagine now it would have been easy. So yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, well, I'm a changed man.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure, 100%.
I'm glad we didn't, though. I'm glad we didn't have all of these social media platforms and dating apps when we were in college, because I think that's what made our college experience probably a little bit better. And there's no pictures. There's none of that, putting people online, canceling people. None of that happened when we were in college.
Yeah, because you literally had to.
Happened on Facebook.
You literally had to make a physical connection with somebody in person, right? Mm-hmm. And that was still during the time where if you met a girl, you would say, "What's your phone number? Put your number in my phone," right? Now it's, "What's your Instagram?"
Yep. What's your socials? Yep.
Add me on your socials.
I hate that too, because it's like, that's if a girl like, to me, I think it's sexy if I ask a girl her number and or I say like, "What's your Instagram?" because that's what I'm so like accustomed to maybe potentially asking first. If she says, "No, I'll give you my number," to me, I'm just like, okay. They're like, that means like she has a similar interest in me as well. Like,
right, you want a personal connection, not just a superficial.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Nick says, when I ask a girl for her socials, I'm really asking for her social security. I'm trying to make sure our digits line up. That's it.
This guy's silly. Yeah. So so like when if they give you the number, I think that is super impressive. But I mean, Instagram, because then you gotta wait till she adds you. If she doesn't add you right there, and then when she adds you, then you gotta try to get the number. And then in this day and age of dating, how long does it take to get the number through Instagram? Like, how many days is it gonna take to want to ask for the number? You know what I mean? So
and if she's somewhat popular, you could be 50 messages down in 24 hours.
Yeah.
You might have to wait till next weekend when you see her.
If you see her. So that's the crazy part. So yeah, I mean, back in the day, like early, like you just had to have that truth mouthpiece. And if you pulled, you pulled. But now some people have, that texting mouthpiece, texting or Instagram mouthpiece that, you can bag a shorty that way. But as soon as you get them in person, they can barely hold a conversation.
Oh my God, that's the worst. That is the worst. That happens more times than not with me. There'll be great conversation on like IG and even text, and then you meet in person and it's just dry.
But do you think that is because you guys potentially talked about everything through texting and through Insta?
No, because in person, it should be a different energy. At that point, if we have talked that much, we should be way more comfortable with each other in person.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree.
So if it gets awkward, that's usually it for me. And that happens a lot, where it's just first date and done.
What's a percentage of that conversation do you think is for the woman to uphold? I'm just asking, just for conversation's sake.
It should be 50-50. Like the conversation should be flowing. If I'm asking you questions to try to get to know you and you're giving me dry answers, or you're just like one-wording me, you're not interested.
Yeah.
It has to be an equal effort.
Yeah, and we was actually having this conversation with one of our neighbors that came over like a week ago. And I told we were basically, she was basically saying the same thing that you're saying, Kadriana. Is just that, guys, conversation, no matter how you meet a woman, is like the first thing, right? Mm-hmm. And I told her, I said, when I was growing up, I was an ugly duckling. Like, I was short, chubby, didn't have style. Women probably looked at me, well, girls at that time probably looked at me and thought I was corny, a nerd. And so I developed a mouthpiece. Mm-hmm. But then as I grew later in life, right, then you kind of add that to your repertoire, and it makes you better as you go through life. But for some guys, and I'm sure this probably holds true for some women, some guys might have gotten to this point in life off just being good looking. And there are women who have gotten to this point in life off just being good looking and haven't had to carry a conversation. Dudes were just happy with them being good looking. And some women were just happy with the guy being good looking. She didn't really ask him no questions. He didn't have to really contribute too much to the conversation. But I think that more women are interested in learning about you before you get to a certain point in dating. And if you can't contribute to that, the older you get, the more of a turnoff is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I do think you're right, because I kind of grew up similar, but I was a tomboy. So I was like one of the guys until I guess I got boobs at like 18. But I had to be funny. I had to be able to carry conversations because I couldn't just get by on my looks. I was a goofy looking kid. And I do notice that some guys, they will act surprised, and I can tell they're used to, they just like, if you're good looking, that's good enough for them. And the same with, because I've dated some guys that were really attractive and they were their whole life, but they did not form like a personality, or they just couldn't have conversation.
Mm.
Yeah, you gotta have everything. You can't just be good looking.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta have some kind of substance behind you.
Yeah, because looks get old.
If you had to pick, let's say you met a guy right now today, and you had to pick which one he could have, which one would you pick?
Either looks or substance?
Yes.
Substance. If he can make me funny, like laugh, if he's funny, he'll look even better to me. So I need substance.
Even though he's not good looking at all.
Like, how ugly are we talking? Like,
Shrek ugly.
Oh, you already know.
But Shrek funny.
Yeah. I'd give him a chance. I would give him a chance. I'm trying to think, because if he can make me laugh,
That's Cat.
She podding. She was podding.
Yeah, she's podding right now. She's podding right now.
No, because I cannot stand somebody that cannot have a conversation. So I don't care. You could be a 10 out of 10, but if you cannot have a conversation, you just became like the ugliest person to me. I can't. I would take the funny guy with good conversation. Yeah.
KP not buying that. It's free. He's not buying that. I'm not buying that for a second.
I've dated some guys that were not traditionally good looking, but they had amazing personalities and they were really easy to talk to.
And how long did that last?
Yeah. I gave him a chance.
But how long did it last?
Not that long, but then there has to be some sort of attraction physically for me.
Yeah, exactly. Initial,
a little bit ugly, but really funny. Okay, they'll be better looking to me. Yeah.
Man, if it depends on like what your definition of a little bit ugly is. Because
a little bit ugly. Medium ugly.
So if we're talking on a number scale, we're talking like a 2. Or 3?
I'd say maybe like a 4 that was funny would move up to about a 6.5, 7.
Okay, so he can make considerable gains by being funny and being able to conversate.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that being funny is like the thing that most women say?
Gosh, have you ever been in a relationship with somebody that just there was no humor, there was like no childlike back and forth banter? Mm-hmm. That is awful. It is just a drag. I need somebody.
What if they have a little bit of that, but just not someone who's just like when I hear like women say, "Oh, if he can make me laugh, then he can have everything," or whatever. Like when I hear that, I think of damn near like a comedian, like someone who's just like funny like all the time, and they're naturally funny. There are some men who have a different kind of humor, whether it's dry or whether it's sarcastic. And then there's some dudes that are like that jolly, big boy humor. You know how they say most bigger guys are.
Nick said, if you can make her giggle, you can make her cheeks jiggle.
Yes, Nick. That is true.
At least one time.
Yeah, at least once. So I don't understand what's different about. I don't understand the funny thing. I just don't really understand it.
Because I feel like if you ask women to rate their top 5 qualities, humor is gonna be like top 3.
For sure.
Humor is like top 3. Might be 1 or 2.
Yeah, I agree. But why though? I understand you don't want someone that's a drag, 100%. But when you say you want someone with a sense of humor, I mean, I don't think I've never met anyone that didn't have a sense of humor.
But like that was funny because like for me, when people are extremely dry, to some people that's hilarious. To me, I'm just like, not really my funny.
Yeah.
But I love to laugh. I love to just enjoy life. And so if I have a partner that can do that, I'm loving the relationship even more. Like it's all around goodness. But I've been with guys that were just not as funny. I was the funny. And I would say something and they would just, and I know it was hilarious. And they would just,
I know it was hilarious.
Yeah, I know it's hilarious. And I need somebody that can match my humor or even be funnier than me.
Gotcha.
So really it's not that you want someone with a sense of humor, it's that you want someone with a similar.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. Because it's sexy to me. Because when I think of people who are funny and witty, like it's I love it. It's sexy because it shows that they're quick thinkers, they're intelligent. I love that. Yeah.
Interesting.
So be more funny, KP.
I think sometimes I try to be funny, but it takes a lot for me to get comfortable for that side to come out of me with certain females, to be honest with you. This guy, he got the black emoji with the braids. It's so funny. Like, Nick, you a funny dude. You a funny dude.
My man Bass, the epitome of her definition, not gonna lie.
Man, so we still got to get to that question from last week. So
we got to circle back. We have to.
All right, guys. So if you guys remember, when we ended the show last week, I asked a question to Kadriana. I said, "Does she? Excuse me. Does she expect her dude to kiss her after she has given him head?" I gave her 3 scenarios. Number 1, does she expect him to give her a kiss after she's been like blowing snot bubbles down there and she's been down there forever? Oh, snot bubbles is hilarious. I've had that happen.
It's funny because you can envision it.
Yeah. Or does she expect for her man to kiss her after she's just been doing it for 5 to 10 minutes? Or thirdly, does she expect her man to kiss her after he has, finished inside of her mouth? What do you expect for your man to do?
For me, the first two, yes, kiss me after that. The last one, no, I'm not gonna make you kiss me with your baby's in my mouth. Not at all.
So after you swallowed, you don't
No.
like you wouldn't go, like you wouldn't even try to kiss him?
No, because if I swallow, I don't expect you to kiss me, and then after I'm probably gonna go, brush my teeth, do some mouthwash, and clean it up before I expect a kiss.
So what if, let's say hypothetically, you were in the moment and you went up to try to kiss him? And he
did a little skirt? No.
He just brought you into the nook right here. He said, "Oh, come here. I'll get over here, you."
No. I would probably. Oh yeah. My bad. I would not expect him to kiss me after that.
I was getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
we're not there yet. I'm sorry.
So you expect him to kiss you after you've been blowing snot bubbles down there? I mean, you've been down there for a minute.
Yes, that is so sexy if he kisses me, because then he's an animal.
When I say snot bubbles, I mean it's sloppy.
Yes, because that's not the worst thing he's going to put his mouth on. So yes, kiss me after I'm.
And let's say, like hypothetically, if he doesn't, then what?
I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at him, but he'll turn me on even more if he does.
Okay, so David, which one are you kissing or not kissing?
I'm probably gonna skip 1 and 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably skip 1 and 3. 2. Love you, boo. And we continue on with the festivities.
Are you gonna give her a cheek? Is it gonna be like a little peck on the cheek? Or
No.
Why not? What's wrong with snot? Like, I know the idea, but like, come on. You guys are going down on us. We're sitting on faces. Like, what's a little snot bubble?
I mean, to be 100% honest, it depends on the woman and the experience. And the reason I say that is because I have been in experiences where I did, but those were not girls that I was dating. And because of that, I probably, hot take, like Nick said, I probably wouldn't date them.
That's crazy. You guys have a different mindset than women. So we turn our freaky on for our man, but you guys turn it on for just like
the bodies. For the thotties. Because I mean, like, people was like, I'm sure you have heard that as a woman, I'm sure you've heard that men don't want their serious significant other to be like that. For instance, like porn, right? Take porn into, let's introduce that into the conversation. Take porn, right? Like, a man would not want his wife to do some of the things that you see on there. And I think every man has probably had experiences where you met a girl, maybe you were talking to her for like a week, and she said, "Hey, you want to come over tonight?" And you go over, and it went all the way down, right? But you knew it wasn't serious, so you kind of were maybe a little bit more uninhibited in the experience. But I think that there's things that you don't want, and maybe KP feels differently, but I think there's things as a man you don't want your significant other to do. And I don't know if it's like that for women. Obviously, I have no point of reference for that, but I don't know if it's like that for women. But for guys, I think that there's things that you don't want to associate with the woman you're in a relationship with, or you're married to, or whatever the case is.
But you want those things because I feel like that's why some guys will step out.
You want it, but not with the person you're in a relationship with.
But why? Like, I wouldn't want to do the crazy, freaky, over the top stuff with just a random. I would have to be comfortable. I would want it to be with my partner who I'm in love with. I wouldn't want it to be with just some guy. Because I think that's the whole beauty of being in a relationship is you guys get to, you have sex without limits and you just explore each other's kinks and stuff like that with no judgment. That's like, I don't know. I'm the opposite. I would not want to do all that crazy stuff, kinky stuff with just a one night stand. They don't get that part. No.
But I think, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like guys want to do all that stuff with a one night stand. And then you don't want to come home and your wife is like, put your legs behind your head. You're going to be like, no, unhand me. Get your hands off me. Like, you're going to be like, no, you cannot do that to me. But if it's a weekend in Vegas and you met a girl at the club, you might be down to try it.
Okay, so say you try it and you love it. And you're like, oh, that is just something I love. And you get with a girl, you're not going to let her ever explore that. That's just going to be one of those kinks you just leave untouched.
Yeah, because I think that you don't ever have to see that person again. That's if you're cheating, right? I'm saying, like, just the situation that we proposed is if you're cheating. If you're a single dude and you're just out playing the field, but you bopping, you're not really committing yourself to anybody. You could be having crazy experience after crazy experience after crazy experience, but then when you meet the person you want to settle down with, I think as a guy, you remember how you treated those women and you don't want to treat her that way. Like, I think it's a little different.
So I agree with you, but I disagree with you. I agree with you on there are times when you meet someone new and you want to get a little wild or whatever. But then I disagree with you, and I agree with Kadriana in regards to myself personally. I'd rather do all the freaky stuff with my girl comparatively to the girl that I'm just smashing. Like the girl that I'm just smashing. As we talked about, last week, the girl that I'm just smashing potentially is getting fed at the couch and the couch only. The girl that I'm dating,
girl, you gonna invite upstairs.
1,000%. I'm gonna do 1,000%. I'm gonna do I'm not gonna sit here and say I haven't done like freaky stuff with girls that I was just having, relations with. But when it comes to like really getting down to that kinky stuff or really getting down to doing some crazy stuff, I'm gonna save that for my girlfriend for sure.
Geneva said agree. Kadriana. Nick said Wait, let me see. Yeah, he said the very first time I had sex with my current girlfriend, she licked the you know what off my hand. I had it in my hand a bit because I wouldn't have to shoot all over the place. That was the sexiest thing ever.
See? And look, 3 years later.
He said, too much info. I know, but it's a safe place.
This is a safe place, Nick. You're good.
Yeah, this is a safe space in front of the world.
Right. You can't get no safer than that.
Oh man, you should have just threw it at her in her face, then kissed her, bro. You should have just threw it and then just kissed her. Now that would have been a story. Like, oh, bro, man, I in my hand, and all of a sudden I just threw it in her face, and she said, "Kiss me." Like, that's a story,
right? But then when your friends see you dating her, they're gonna be like, "Wait, you in a relationship with her now?"
Yeah.
That's the story you told us.
See, they're being haters because they all know that if they had that opportunity, they would wipe her up too.
For sure. Sure.
They're just being haters.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna wipe her up if she's doing all that. If she let me throw some of that in her face. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but does that mean that she lets every guy do that?
No, I don't think so. No,
So
I don't.
Right.
I don't agree with that
So you're assuming that you're the first guy to ever do that.
But we're all grown. Everybody knows we all been in long-term relationships, and we're all grown. So you have to assume it's not the first guy she's let.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It depends on what you like. It depends on what the act is.
And even if I asked her and she told me no, how would I ever know that that she's telling the truth or not? Right. Just like she could ask me something and I could say no, and she would never know either.
No, I've never cheated.
Yeah, I would never say that though. I would tell.
Right, but why would you lie?
So why would she lie? If she says, I've never done this before, you're the first guy that I've done this before, why would she lie?
I mean, yeah, you could take her word for it, but what I'm saying is I just feel like it's just two different worlds. I think there's things that if it's just a chick that you're just trying to take care of for the night, you don't have the same level of care and respect that you do for your significant other.
Yeah,
right?
That's not it. Just
like there's certain things I'm not going to do with a chick that I just met that I'm going to do with my girlfriend.
Yeah, but it's by the sounds of it, your girlfriend's getting vanilla you.
Yeah,
she's getting the.
No, I'm not saying that there's not a ton of things that you can't do. I'm just saying like there's things that I feel like would be disrespectful to someone that I'm dating, like in a serious relationship with, that I may not think is disrespectful to somebody that I don't have any feelings for.
So basically what you're saying is that is that if your girlfriend asks you to slap her in the face with you know what, you wouldn't. But if a girl that you were just talking to or just smashing asked you to do it, you would.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm smacking the shit out of my girlfriend.
That's the thing. I don't know. I just feel like it's almost I don't like that. It feels like the other girl is getting degraded instead of it being like, because if that's your thing, that's your thing. You should be able to share that with your partner. But I don't know. I don't like that. I want my person to be able to have all of their fantasies within reason, obviously. That's what I want us to be able to do together. The same as
see, you just said within reason, but the girl that he just mentioned, there's no limitations.
If he's into like some weird hot wife shit like that, no, I'm not. That's not my thing.
What? Get smacked in the face with that is wild?
No, not. That's not for a partner if that's what you're into. But I'm saying like I want to fulfill my partner's fantasies within reason. Like if he wants to hot wife me, that's not happening. But if he wants to like slap my face every now and then while we're doing it, right?
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. The other girl who he doesn't have any feelings for doesn't have any limitations. He could just real quick, and he don't have to talk to her next week. You he live with, so it's gonna be awkward in the kitchen in the morning if he's like, "Hey, sorry, I didn't."
That's gonna be funny. If you got that
relationship, it's gonna be funny because I'm gonna take a hot dog and slap him. This is how it feels.
No. Like, damn, boo, remember I slapped you in the face last night? You liked that shit, didn't you? And then slap her on the booty and keep walking.
Yeah. And keep
Geneva said, right, preach Kadriana, maybe. I don't think it's disrespectful.
Exactly. Geneva's ready. She wants to try some of that stuff that you've been holding out on.
Nah, it's some
kinky.
She'll have to tell you a story on her own, but about some of her past experiences. But I'm also the type of person where I will ask questions, you know, as part of the getting to know somebody.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like? What are you into?
Yeah.
But like I said, because I feel like I'm a respectful person, there's things that I just don't want to do that I feel like might be disrespectful to her. But it also is going to be awkward if you stop in the middle and say, "Hey, you mind if I?"
You're asking?
Right, exactly. So if you don't ask and you just do it, she might be like, "I can't believe you just did that." I'm not a fool.
But that's
I'm not some street coon thing that you can just treat that way.
No, if your girl's down there and she is doing what she's doing, and you know you just give her a couple little jabs, you know, against the jaw just a little bit, just to wake it up a little bit even more. You know, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
You just got to read the room. If she seems like she's into it, you're good.
Man, forget that. If she's down there, she's into it.
I think you should have conversations.
Nah, that's how you get a Diddy case.
I think you need to have conversations in the early stages of relationships, so you do know, because some people might be into some crazy stuff that you have no interest in, and that's why I think sexual compatibility is like probably number 2 on the list. You have to be sexually compatible.
Right. You might find out that he wants to hot wife you. And
what does that mean? What does hot wife you mean?
So it's like a new trend. It's basically swinging. Basically.
Yeah. Except for is it that one way I joined? Is it like a cuck where
he just watches?
He just watches and he like finds like a bull or something. Yeah, I think it's a cuck. But then the woman like has sex with like, that's like their thing. She has sex with other men. He watches, and that's their kink. If a person's into that, that needs to come up early on in the connection.
I've been in that situation before where I was one of the dudes banging the wife.
Really? You were a bull?
Is that what it's called?
Well, I think the ones that do it are the bulls.
Yeah, I was bullying her ass too, and he was watching. It was this white dude. He was probably like all of like 5'5", 5'6". Boy, I was drilling his wife. It wasn't. It was just weird.
That wasn't weird for you?
No, it was weird. It was weird. Like I was positioned to where he couldn't see my you know what, but yeah. That was a while ago. That was old like, yeah, that was at band camp one time.
I'm glad I never met band camp Keinon.
No, yeah. Band camp Keinon was wild for sure. I'm telling you, I got crazy stories that like really no one knows about that I've always wanted to put in a book. Like I've always thought about writing a book that each woman whom have had a prominent part in my life, I would have each chapter their name. So the first name would be, second name would be Kadriana. The third chapter would be Kadriana, so on and so forth. So I got some crazy stories. But yeah, that's one of them, and that was a wild. And I'm not even gonna hold you. Like how I came in that situation. How I came in that situation was it was a Craigslist situation.
Oh, back when it had the personals.
The personal section.
Yeah. I was bored as hell one night at band camp. And I just got on there and I started a little rapping like with this chick, and she said, like, meet us at the hotel. I was scared, to be honest with you. I ain't gonna hold you. I was scared.
He thought he was gonna get robbed.
Yeah.
They said, bring your wallet. Okay.
And I didn't. But she showed me a picture of both of them. And I was like, if this is this dude, this will be, I'll beat his ass. Unless he's like a wrestler or something, or like jiu-jitsu or something like that. And yeah, long story short, I went to the telly. And yeah, man, we talked for a little bit. The motherfuckers hit the lights. Next thing,
got down to it.
She started doing what she do. And then he sat there in the chair. And I was there for maybe 25, 35 minutes. I wasn't there long. I'll tell you that much.
This in Scottsdale?
It was at band camp. It was at band camp. You know? Long time
But
ago.
would you date a girl that was into that? So if a woman came to you too and said she was into that, would you date her?
Into like having somebody else like watch us?
Yeah. If she said, hey, I want to have other men. I like that.
But you'd hook up with her.
Like when I smash her, just her and I?
But with somebody else there?
No, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't do it.
No. I'm a conservative. I'm super conservative when it comes to sex, to be honest with you.
Now.
No, like for
I mean, if you did it once, you don't think you would do it again?
No, I wouldn't. When I say conservative, I mean like I told you, there's times when I have a list of things that I think that would be cool to check off, and that wasn't one that I would ever think about ever doing, but I thought it would be a cool story when it happened. I was like, okay, well, shit, I can say that I've done this. You know what I mean? So when I say conservative, I mean
try anything once.
Yeah, I'll try anything. I'll try just about anything once.
Twice if it's fun.
But I typically reserve those type of things for my person instead of, the people that I'm randomly smashing. Now, again, there may be a time when, if there's alcohol involved, shit may get crazy. But otherwise, if it's just someone that I'm just hooking up with here and there, I'm pretty conservative with them comparatively to how I would be with my girlfriend.
I don't think I would. Just for the simple fact that I feel like I don't possessive's not the right word, but I don't want anybody else to share in the experience. Mm-hmm. So maybe selfish about it in that aspect. So I don't think I could date a woman that was into that.
No, for sure. Hell no. No.
Would you date a woman that had an OnlyFans? Or Kadriana, would you date a guy that had an OnlyFans page?
No. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Damn,
So what do you say to the people that say like it's not sex? He just posted pictures and videos. He not actually he not cheating.
Just because you wrap it up and do it digitally and you make it look pretty doesn't take away from what it is. It still is sex. You're selling sex. You are. It's just you might not be sleeping with other people, but you're selling your body. It's the same to me. Like I look at that as no different than people on the street, like in Vegas. Because
would you ever date a sex worker?
Me? No. Nothing against it if that's your hustle, but no. No.
David?
A sex worker?
Yeah.
What do you classify as a sex worker?
Someone that has sex for money.
Well, I mean, by Kadriana's definition, if you're selling sex, but even if you're not having sex, does that include like strippers?
Are they selling sex?
I'm talking about
They're not having sex, no.
You meet a girl who is awesome. She has a network of men that she occasionally, they will fly out, or these are men who, maybe, I won't say low character men, but,
So you mean like a regular woman?
Anyway, she's getting paid. She's getting paid by these dudes they'll go hang out, and then they'll have sex, and then they'll go about their way until the next time they're in town, so on and so forth. Would you date someone that did that?
It wouldn't be ideal. I can't say I wouldn't. I feel like jokingly, like I just said, I feel like it's kind of the same. Like if I met a woman, I would not assume that I'm the only dude she's talking to or sleeping with. I wouldn't. I know I'm not the most good looking dude. So if you say, well, you're the only dude I'm talking to and the only dude I'm sleeping with, I'm gonna be like, all right, come on now. But if that was like her business, like if she was like a legit, like an escort, I don't know. I like, where did I meet her at? Did she approach me?
You met her on a dating app or Instagram.
And she's trying to make me one of the dudes in the black book, or she's like, I want to get out that life because I really like you.
No, she's not trying to get out the life. You met her out like at a bar. You just met her out at a bar. You thought she was cute. You start talking to her, and she's like, I just want to tell you that, I do sex work, and that's how she makes her living.
I mean, I think it's gonna be a no for me to date. It's gonna be a no for me.
So
just because I would automatically assume, if I'm like, hey, can I take you out to dinner? These like the other dudes that she's hanging out with are doing the same thing I'm doing, but they're giving her $500 at the end of the night. So I would feel like it would be cheapening the things that we do together. Mm-hmm. So I feel like for that reason, I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it.
So I
take you out for dinner, but last week you was in Dubai getting took out to dinner, but you know what you was there for. And I take you out to dinner, and at the end of the night, you say, well, I'm going to go home tonight. I had a great time. And you just kiss me on the cheek. Now I'm going to have a problem because I'm going to be like, I'm not getting the same treatment the other dudes was getting. But you're doing all the same stuff with me that you're doing with them.
So I agree and I disagree. So that actually happened to me. So in band camp. This one time.
Kadriana's like,
Like this one time, you know, back in the days in band camp, I saw this girl, like I was there for a couple weeks, and I saw her like every time I went to this like one particular part, there's another camp that was on the other side of the forest. And every time that I would go to like the lake, I would see her, right? She was feeling your boy. She was giving me the look. I was like, all right, cool. She's like, who's calling my phone? Who's calling my phone? Who's calling my phone? Baby girl. And I ended up getting her number, whatever, getting to know her. Great girl, right? We started messing around. I mean, instantly top 5. She instantly put herself in that top 5, in that Keinon top 5. And I was like, where'd you learn that from? Where'd you learn that? Like, what? And then she told me she was, you know, a sex worker. And I mean, we kept smashing. But dating wise, I could never see. And we had a lot of conversations about it. And the way that she, you know, framed it was very, very good. Like, she's one of those, like, you know, spiritual type girls. Like, yeah, like, I love, like, this may sound, I love a hippie type chick. Like, for some reason, like, hippie girls, like, that's not the kind of girl that I would, like, traditionally go for. But I love, like, a hippie spiritual, because I'm into Reiki and stuff like that. So I'm into those energy type of girls. And she was one of those, like, where, you know, that's how she was. Like, she's one of those, like, yeah, man, yeah. One of those cool chicks that smoked weed. And it was just, like, great chick. And I could never do it. Like, I can never, you know, be like, hey, yeah, let's take this to the next level or anything like that. Because, you know, I was going back home and she was going back to her home for the summer, you know, for band camp and stuff like that. So it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't have worked out. But yeah, that would be tough to do. That would be tough to do, for sure. But the way she framed it was like, she could have had.
How did she? I'm curious.
It was. To be honest with you, I can't remember because it was so long ago. And I to be honest with you, I can't remember, but it was good. It was good. Like, I was just like, yeah, I understand why you're doing that.
She almost had Keinon converted.
Man, but I'm telling you,
she almost had him.
That coochie was so good. Everything, like, her sex game is just crazy. Like,
yeah, because she's highly experienced.
Yeah.
She's good at her job.
Great.
Right.
Yeah.
People are paying for it. She better be good.
Yeah. I was like, I told her, I was like, one thing I am not doing is paying for it. And then surely enough, okay, so then after the fact, like, one summer I went back and I was trying to see her. And she was just like, I just don't want to give my body to anyone. But if you want, you can pay. I said, what?
If you want, it's $2.50 an hour.
I said, nah, I'm cool. I'll see you another summer.
That's, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
See, she was giving out free samples, hoping that you would buy go down the aisle and buy the package.
If I wanted to date, like, seriously, she would have easily dated me. Easily. It would have been, I would have a girlfriend, easily. But no, I'm not doing that. That's got to be, and it's crazy because I think women know. I would hope they know that most men, when it doesn't grip, we know that it's been ran through. We know.
Oh my gosh,
You don't agree with that?
I don't believe that.
Anatomically, that's not true.
That's not true because it's a muscle.
So you don't think there's a term loosey goosey for a reason?
That just means the guy before you was a little bit bigger than you, but it goes right back. I had two kids, and I can still grip. No, I don't believe that.
Anatomically, that's not correct. They're not all the same.
No, but what I'm saying is, I didn't say all vaginas were the same.
Some women who just down there they're not doing their Kegels, so it's looser, and they might not sleep with anybody. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the woman has been ran through.
I don't agree with that. If that shit's loose, if I just dive right in, if I'm like, oh, then I'm like, whoa, who was in here before me? But if I gotta like put it in a couple times, I'm like, okay, anybody had this for a minute probably. I don't care what any girl says, every dude, I won't say every dude, but most dudes, if they are having sex with what they feel is a loose vagina, they're gonna think that way. Fellas, am I wrong? If you feel like it's loose, you're gonna be like, damn.
I don't think I've ever thought that unless I knew she was like that.
Mm.
And how would you know? How would you know?
This makes sense.
How would you know if she was like that or not?
Because sometimes you're in certain situations where you know a girl's reputation before you get with her.
No, not all.
Especially like if it's college, you know.
That's why I try to get the ones you don't.
And then you get surprised. and then she spring that she spring that octopus head on you, and you be like, wait a minute, who was in here last week?
as long as she's doing what she's doing, that's all that matters.
Sexual compatibility.
I don't know if that's really a thing.
What?
I mean, do you really have? Well, are we talking about to date someone or just to have sex with someone? You have to be sexually compatible with someone just to have sex with them?
I think to have a long-term, fruitful relationship, you do.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
If it's just something you seeing every couple of weeks,
yeah, you don't have to.
You'll figure it out for 20 minutes, like
20. Give me 10, and I'm done. 10. Sorry, boo. You only pay for the silver package.
And no, you cannot go upstairs.
No.
So that's basically the same equivalent what she did to you, where she said, you can pay. That's kind of what you guys do. You know, the good ones get to go to the bed and get the upgraded treatment. Same thing, different currency. Yeah.
No.
To be 100% honest, like I don't have the same methodology as KP. I don't have the same methodology.
Because you would be single after these episodes. And I wouldn't blame her.
I don't have the same methodology. I didn't say I didn't have similar experiences. I said I don't have the same methodology. But I didn't have a distinguish. I didn't distinguish like that. I didn't distinguish that way.
You didn't distinguish like what?
Like there was it was either the couch or the bed.
I never said that last week. I said most of them. I said.
You said there's a package for the couch,
Uh-huh.
and there's the package that gets to go upstairs.
And not everybody gets the bed package. That's
Yeah,
reserved for the special ones.
Yeah, I did say that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's true. But I also said that some girls that who shouldn't get the bed package, they sometimes get the bed package.
See? And she gave you the bed package, and then when you said you wouldn't date her, she took that back. She said, "No, you got to pay."
She put you in line with everybody else.
Yeah, that was right. That was prior to 3 days. 3 days, or I think it was like a week prior. We smashed it out. So then, when I went back to the well,
it was dry.
Yeah, dry it up. Only thing that can get it going back again, $250.
Said, no cash, no ass.
But that's the thing, though. Like that wasn't. She was only the fourth or the fifth man. So I mean, but that's because of the job. So like there wasn't. I knew that there was that was eventually going to end. You know what I mean? I knew that was eventually gonna end. So, of course.
That sounds like I ain't really like her anyway.
Yeah.
No. I mean, oh my God, my light is just driving me crazy. No, it wasn't that at all. There was never going to be a dating like scenario there. Never. Now, if she did something different for work, then yeah, there may have been an opportunity there, but no, not with that job. No, that was never my intent. Was never to date.
Initially, it was because you didn't know what she did for work.
I knew what she did for work before we were intimate.
So did you tell her that it was going to be nothing but that? Because it sounds like she thought there could be more. And
Every girl does.
Yeah, because you guys need to start being more clear.
I think that I'm pretty clear, and I think that also if I'm not clear, I think the situations should be crystal clear. I mean, I personally think that I'm clear. Like I have those conversations before sleeping with someone, what my expectations are or what I want. I have those conversations with what I want. I will tell a girl straight up, I don't want a girlfriend. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for anything serious. I am looking for something serious. I am, open to dating. I do want a relationship. I say a multitude of those. Of course, it just depends on the female. But if they, in that regard where, I'm like, I'm not trying to date or I'm not looking for anything serious, if that person proceeds to still indulge, then, at some point there's going to be an expiration on it. And I'm personally okay with that. Whether or not they are, that's a different story. But when that expiration does come to pass, my goal is to make sure that we're on good terms.
Okay. So I do think a lot of women do that, where a guy will say, hey, this is casual. And sometimes in our brain, we're like, yeah, for now.
Right.
And that's where I think people get their feelings hurt.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because, and that goes back to what I said maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I said, because women want to win. Women want to win. If you tell a girl, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious, but I enjoy spending time with you, she's going to automatically assume there's other girls in the rotation. But at some point in her mind, she's thinking, he's going to get out of this mode. Mm-hmm. And what's going to get him out of this mode is one of us he's going to like more than the other 2, 3, 5, whatever. And I want to be the one he picks, so I'm going to stick around the longest. I'm going to put up with the most in hopes that by the time he decides, you know what, I think I do want a girlfriend. And he's going through his phone. He says, you know what? I have been spending a lot of time with such and such. She actually is pretty cool. Let me see what she's doing today.
See, that's wishful thinking. Because when a guy says in the beginning, I'm not looking for anything, men know. You guys know just as fast as we know. So if a guy says, I just want to, hang out, he's never going to pick you. I do not think he'll ever pick you. Whereas some women do believe, like you said, well, if I'm good enough, if I put up with the most, if I'm supportive,
I can change his mind.
Yeah, I can make him change his mind. No.
It's possible.
Very, very rarely. Because I think, and you see something in that woman in the beginning to where you automatically like, no, I'm not, this isn't what I want. And I feel like it's hard to switch a man's mind. When you guys have it set that this is just sex with this woman, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think a lot of men can like change it and be like, okay, yeah, no, I see something different. Especially with David, what you were saying, what you do with the girls that are just what you did with certain girls, you're not going to change your mind because you've already have it in your head that this is just what she's for.
I would venture to say that I think a man's mind can be changed. I don't think it's going to be because of the sex. It won't be because of the sex. But do I think a woman, like, let's say you take a guy, right? Let's say he's dating 5 girls, being intimate with all 5, hanging out, going on dates with all 5. All things considered equal, all 5 are cool. It's not going to be the sex. But what's going to change his mind is that at some point during this journey, there's going to be a situation where you get to a fork in the road, right? One of the girls might say, hey, my car broke down. I won't be able to see you this week until I get a new car. And he says, okay, that's cool. But then girl number 2 says, hey, I got off work early today. You want to hang out? Cool. Girl 1 just lost her spot, right? Now girl 3 might be like, hey, you know what? You told me that you were seeing other people. I was too. I met a guy. It's really going well, so we're going to have to stop this. All right, cool. I understand. Girl 3 out the rotation. Now you're only down to girl 2, girl 4, and girl 5. Girl 4 might be that last week of the month. So you can't see her. Girl 5 might say, hey, I'm over on your side of town. Want to hang out? Sure. Now you got girl number 2, girl number 5.
Oh my goodness.
You might be sick. Let's say you get sick that next week. And you say, oh man, I'm sick. I think I got the flu. I can't get out of bed. Man, you think you can bring me some? You talking to girl number 2? You think you can bring me some medicine? Girl number 2 says, I can't. I'm at work right now. I'm busy. But maybe later. I hope you feel better. Girl number 5 says, I'm on the way. So guess who just won?
But did she really? No, she didn't win because somewhere he's got the girl he actually wants and she's got him blocked. No. I don't know. There's guys who have that many girls in rotation. He doesn't want any of them. There's some girl somewhere that he wants, but until she comes back, he's trying to fill the void with girl 1 through 5.
I feel attacked.
Geneva says sounds like being the leftover.
When you had the girls, the dressing room women, you didn't want them like that. And some of them probably thought, well, maybe there's a chance Keinon will, I let him bend me over extra hard in the dressing room. Maybe he'll pick me. But you weren't going to pick any of them because you had the girl you loved at home.
You tell the girl I was cheating on?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, you didn't want those other women. You just wanted to see if you could.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
They were available. Yeah. You would have never dated them, I don't think.
I don't know.
That hesitation tells me no. There wasn't one, because if you would have, there would have been one woman you would have thought of and be like, yes, I would have. No, you wouldn't have.
No, you're right. You're right. Right.
So is she really, like, she's just the leftover, the pick-me, and it's until the other one, because then when girl number 2 gets her car fixed, he might have liked her better. Then old girl gets bumped down again.
But I don't feel like I look at it as that, because I feel like when you go into dating somebody, are you automatically assuming they're not talking to anybody else?
No, I assume that until we have the conversation. Now, for me, if I am talking to you, say we're dating and it's about a month, I'm not talking to anybody else. Because when I'm really trying to meet somebody, my focus is there. But I also know until that conversation is had and you talk about exclusiveness, it's to be assumed that they're dating other people.
Let me ask you this. If you are dating someone, do you expect or want them to... Okay, it's a two-part question. Do you expect for them to, A, want to do everything that you want to do? And B, do you expect for them to expect you to do everything that they want to do? For example, you say, I want to go to this concert. And he says, you know what, babe? Why don't you go with your girlfriends? I'm going to sit this one out. Cool. Next time you say, hey, I'm trying to go to this basketball game. And he's like, I'm tired after work. Why don't you go with one of your girlfriends? Do you expect, would that be a deal breaker for you? If not every single time he says no, but more times than not, it's not the fact that he doesn't want to do anything with you. It may not be something that he's necessarily interested in doing.
He just doesn't like those activities.
Right. Would that be, and this is a dude you are talking to, dating, not boyfriend and girlfriend. Would that be a deal breaker for you?
If he was constantly not interested in the stuff that I was interested in, like every time I ask him to do something, he's not down for it.
No, not every time, but just like, we'll say out of 10 times, 6 times he does it.
Okay. No, that's not a deal breaker, because I think couples should have their own passions and their own hobbies and stuff. And we don't have to be glued at the hip all the time. I think you need to have your friends. I need to have my friends. You need to have your guy time. I need to have my girl time. No, that's not a deal breaker for me.
See, so I'm of the mindset that, and maybe this is just me, but if I wanted to go to a basketball game and I know my girl didn't like basketball, I wouldn't ask her to go to a basketball game. That's just me personally, because I know that she doesn't like it. Now, would I want her to come? Of course. But if I know that she doesn't like it, and when she's there, she's going to be bored on her phone, which wouldn't make it a great experience for me, why would I ask her to go? So that's my thought process behind it. And then on the flip side, I'm also thinking, if you know that this dude doesn't like doing this or doesn't like doing that, instead of getting mad and causing a fight, why do you even ask him when you know more than likely he's going to say no or he doesn't want to? And it's nothing against you. It's just that maybe you know that he doesn't like this particular activity, but you think that he should be doing this because you want to do it.
So I do think you should always ask. I think even if you know she hates basketball, you should always at least offer it up, because you never know. There might be the one time she's like, you know what, why not? Where I think more people would get upset. I know I would probably get upset if you just assumed I never wanted to go and you never invited me.
Okay, that's fair.
But then too, I think that those are things that you talk about when you're getting to know somebody, right? Like if I'm like getting to know somebody and I'm super into motocross, but she hates motocross or loud sounds or noises, I'm not going to ask her to go to a motocross race. But like Keinon said, if would I want her to go? Absolutely. But I also think it's a little different if it's something that you are actually competing in.
Yeah.
Then I feel like you kind of, I don't want to say like you have an obligation as a significant other to go, but I would hope that you would want to go.
Yeah, that's different.
You know, but you know, if work was late or if you know, you got other things that you got to do, like that's understandable. But I feel like if I'm super into basketball and you don't like basketball, you like art, I would have found that out probably very early on and been like, I don't know if this is going to be a good match.
Yeah.
Because not only do I feel like I need to have guy time when I need to have it, but then when I have an opportunity to go do certain events, like Keinon said, I'm probably not going to ask you, or maybe half-heartedly be like, hey, me and some of the guys are going to go to a basketball game this weekend. You want to roll? And she's like, nah, I'm going to go check out this art exhibit. I'm like, okay.
And then she'll get mad because you don't want to go to the art exhibit because that's what she likes.
Right.
So
those are things you got to find out in the beginning. Like,
yeah. But I think there's nothing wrong every now and then. Like, I'm not a sports person, like at all. But I've gone to sporting events with guys and I had a lot of fun. I didn't know what was going on, but I had a lot of fun. So I think there are times where you just have, it's part of like spending time with your partner. You just go. I can have fun anywhere, even if I have no idea what's going on. Just spending time with my significant other, that's fun for me.
So, okay. So in that case, I agree. So then what's wrong with spending time at home instead of going somewhere?
Nothing
so like, yeah. So I get criticized all the time because I'm a quote unquote homebody. I personally, this is just me. I love spending time with my girl at either my crib or her crib. Like, I'm not one of those dudes that have to be going somewhere every single night to dinner or to something or something. No, that's what I personally like to do, regardless if we knew that about each other. See, I don't think it's necessarily a deal breaker for me, and I personally hope that wouldn't be a deal breaker for said person. But not that I don't like doing those things, but I would prefer to spend that quality time in the house with my other person. Like, that's just me personally.
But I think that I don't think you always have to be out the house doing stuff. Like I think I am kind of a homebody as well, but I do like to go outside. but I don't have to be doing something. It could be for a walk, it could be for a bike ride. I'm not saying it has to be like out to a fancy dinner or to a show, comedy show, or it doesn't have to be that, but it could just be to get out the house, to get some fresh air, do stuff like that. But those types of things I would want to do with my significant other, because it's about building experiences. Now, that's not to say that you guys can't have some deep, well, thought out conversations on the couch, watching a new show together, or watching a movie, or stuff like that. You can. I just think it's different.
No,
I think more experiences that you can have with your person builds the bond. But quality time does too. You have to have a good balance of both.
No, I definitely agree with the walks and the bike rides and things like that. But I'm talking about like going somewhere like
events.
Yeah, some kind of event, like, it's just like, dude, I don't really want to be doing all that. You know what I
mean? But I feel like I have dated a lot of women who, on both sides, I've dated some super homebodies, and I've dated some women that every day it was like there was something.
Yeah.
And for me, that was exhausting, because it was like, some days I don't want to do anything, and then some days I do. I'm also a type of person like you, Kadriana, where I'm kind of down for anything. Like I'll go to an art gallery. I'll go to monster trucks. Like if you got tickets from your job to go to the monster truck, like I'll go to the monster truck thing. I'm not an enthusiast, but I'll go. But do I want to do something 3 nights out of 7? No. 1 or 2, I'm straight.
Yeah, I can't do not that many days.
Out of five, give me maybe 1.
No, 7.
No, the weekends, I'm down to do whatever on the weekends.
Oh,
I'm talking about during the week, during work, during like school nights. No, once.
Yeah.
If once. Weekends, I mean, I may be down for whatever, depending on what the activity is, but I don't know. I just like to stay in and cuddle. I do. I like to stay in and cuddle.
I think that women like to get dressed up. They like to get dressed up. They like to go out. They like to be seen. They like to be in the scene from time to time.
Sometimes.
Right. And I understand that.
Yeah, same here.
I can accommodate that.
Yeah, I need balance. I can't date a super homebody. Like I tried, it's just, I get bored. Especially when they only want to be in the house. Because I don't mind, like, let's go on a hike. I don't mind wandering. But if you just only want to be in the house watching Netflix all the time, I can't do that. I need adventure. I need a little bit of...
I need adventure.
Razzle dazzle. We got to get out.
Razzle dazzle.
Yeah, adventure is going upstairs.
The adventure is graduating from the couch.
Yeah. Because if you only
over to the gold package.
I'm going to start to think you're trying to hide me. Like if you
never... Oh, my God.
You only want to...
I've heard that shit before. That shit's stupid. That shit's stupid.
No.
You don't want to be seen with me?
Yeah. Because that's what I'm going to think. I'm going to be like, who's he hiding me from? Why do we always have to go to his house and just Netflix? Yeah. You got to take me out sometimes. At least once a week. Why don't you? Because I mean, it's true. That's how guys hide women. That's how, like, they will say that they're homebodies. They don't really like the scene, and it's really because they're not trying to be seen.
They're trying to you get caught up by being outside.
Exactly.
That's not true, because if you're a real OG, then you know where to particularly take people that you don't have to be in the mix. You know.
But those are the same guys that say, "I don't post my relationships. I like to be private."
I didn't say that. If I got a girlfriend, I'm posting my girlfriend. I'm not posting no girl I'm talking to.
They don't need to know about us.
I think on my Instagram, I only have my like one girlfriend posted that I've had.
Still,
it's on there now.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yep.
I'm gonna go look. You ain't take it down.
Let me see this.
Did you say this is my girlfriend?
In the caption, no.
Nah.
See? Let me see.
But everyone knew who it was. Everyone knew. Everyone.
How long ago was this?
Yeah, how far down are we looking?
It's the most. If you scroll down, it's the only picture I have with the girl. Whatever that first picture is.
Is that Megan?
Megan.
You're the best.
Megan Pardo?
No, it's not. Pardo's not on my.
That girl looks like Megan.
Yeah, that's her. You don't have to put it on the screen, but that's her. No, that's definitely not Pardo for sure.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely not Pardo.
2018. That's the last time you posted a woman. 2018.
That wasn't our life. That was at the very beginning of our adventure.
Oh, okay.
So why haven't you taken it down yet?
I just haven't. That was also one of my best friends prior to us dating.
Are you still friends?
No.
Y'all not still friends, but you keep the picture up.
Yeah. That's the one that turned me. That's the one that turned me to a savage.
He said every time I start feeling like Drake in my feelings, I go back and look at that picture.
Feel away. Yeah.
Then he turned
back.
That's the
one that crushed me. That's the one that crushed me. I haven't been the same since.
You didn't tag her?
No, I'm blocked.
Oh.
He said I'm blocked.
So why not take that picture down?
I don't want to.
You see what I mean? Those 5 girls, the blocked one. It's always the ones that have you blocked or you have. Wow. Okay.
Yep. She's still my homie if she's watching. I still love you.
Kadriana, who got you blocked?
Oh God. Probably a few people.
They don't got her blocked because they're trying to spin the block.
Right.
No, like
I
only
can't pop back up on the block if I block her on the block.
No, I think one person he has me blocked. But that one was crazy because we had each other blocked and we were seeing each other every day. So that one toxic. Toxic.
See, I mean, like, what's the? I don't toxic. I don't know if that's necessarily toxic per se.
It is. We had no business being together. We had no business circling back as many times. We were twosome together. There was nothing positive about our connection.
Every time you circle back, it ends quicker.
Yeah.
And what if you had that same particular situation, like with someone, and it wasn't ever bad? Like when you and him were in each other's lives, he said it was bad.
It wasn't bad, but neither one of us were in the right space in our life for each other. And
Gotcha.
so instead of just being mature and realizing that, we just put each other through just unnecessary stuff.
Interesting.
Him more so to me, but yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. That's why I said when they have multiple women, it's that one they have blocked. They were not gonna date the other ones. It's the one they have blocked that they're holding out for. Because that's what he did.
Oh, he was holding out for you, or so?
Yeah, because all of these, he would go and these women, and they would, because he was super charismatic. They'd all fall in love, and he'd tell them the same story. I'm not looking for anything serious. Meanwhile, trying to see where I was, if I would go on a trip with him, what I was doing, and who I was seeing. Yeah.
Man, what's this guy's number, man?
we could call him. We can call out to him.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, that story sounds familiar, but yeah, I mean, I guess your theory kind of stood true there for a second.
I mean, you proved it true.
Yeah, I definitely did.
I don't know if I guess I wouldn't know because I'm not. Like if I'm talking to somebody and it ends, we would probably still be friends on social media.
Yeah.
But if we dated and it ended, we're not on social media. So I wouldn't know if they have me blocked or not.
See, for me, it depends on how it ended. If we ended and it was just, hey, no harm, no foul, we're just not compatible, yeah, you can stay on my page. It doesn't bother me. I don't have to be dramatic and unfriend you. But if you're just not a good person and we end because of something like that, I have no interest in, you're not going to watch my life.
No, fact. So I agree with you. So ours didn't end bad. I think the reason why I was blocked was more so for my sake, comparatively to the reason why she blocked me. The reason why she blocked me, there was no, because after we, stopped being together, we were still friends. And, when still friends as in, friends. And, and when, another friend decided to come into her life, I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
And so I think that was more so, the blocking was not because there was some ill will or because something bad happened. It was because, I couldn't take the fact that she was actually moving on and, and things of that nature. And so, yeah.
And I think that's respectful for her, because I've done that. Some guys that I know are not over it, I will block them, especially if
a mercy block.
Yeah, because some guys will keep on torturing themselves, especially by looking at your page, and then you get a new person, and then every now and then they keep trying to message you, and yeah, sometimes you have to do that just to kind of save their feelings.
Man, the sentence got to be up at some point, don't it?
No. She's not going to unblock you.
See, I think they always unblock at some point.
When we're bored.
That's okay.
We're bored.
When that relationship ends and they're bored.
But and it depends how it ended.
Hey, big head. You might get the text before you get the unblock.
Yes.
You might get the text first.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, hey, how you been? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I would know how you been, but you got me blocked. Oh, I'll unblock you right now.
That has happened.
Right.
And in that situation, that has happened. It just hasn't happened in the last 3 years.
Oh, so there's a permanent block. Some guys go in there and they never come out.
I think this is a perma block too. I really do.
Yeah, somebody killing that right now.
But you don't know. Her man might have made her do it too. Because I've heard of some
He could, dude could have been like, who's
Yeah.
the Keinon dude on your page?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we used to date, but we just friends now. He's like, no more.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about it.
He could be like, nah, that's over with.
I don't even want to think about it though.
Well, can I tell him that I'm blocking him? Nah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that one. Damn. that was the one, man.
The one that got away.
Anyway.
All right, we're at an hour 55. Let's go ahead.
I'm gonna take one of those showers and start crying in the shower.
Get some old school Drake and just let it out.
Play a Jagged Edge in the background.
KP, what you got for the people before we get out?
Oh, happy Wednesday. Thank you again for joining us tonight. Please like, subscribe. Just know that this is for entertainment. We love to entertain you. And I appreciate you, every single last one of you. Nick, Michael, Geneva. Where's Jordan at tonight? I'm gonna have to text her. She's probably
Jordan. She didn't check in.
Yeah, Jordan. Okay, Jordan, you slip it. I'm gonna have to. Okay. Like, subscribe. Please continue to watch. Please continue to join in the chat. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, Kadriana, what about you? What do you got for the people?
Yeah, like KP said, thank you everybody that joined us and we're in the chat. We appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe and tune in next week. And thank you to you two co-hosts. You guys are amazing. I love spending my Wednesdays with you and David. For this wouldn't be if it wasn't for David. So shout out to David. Yeah, see you guys next week.
Oh, thank you so much. I just want to thank everybody for, as always, for taking the time. I know that it's the middle of the week. Everybody has work. Everybody's probably just getting off work. You know, on the West Coast, it's still relatively early. Out here on the East Coast, it's late. So I want to thank everybody for at least watching for a little bit, chiming in the chats. Watching on YouTube, watching on Facebook, watching on Twitch. Keep in mind, we are available on all podcast channels. Well, I ain't gonna say all, but the big ones: Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Pretty soon, we're gonna be migrating a lot of the content over to the Facebook page. Still waiting to get an approval on streaming to the Facebook page. For whatever reason, that's taking a while, but you can always catch us live on the YouTube. So if you haven't seen the episode, or if you're a couple episodes back, you can always go on the YouTube and check it out. I want to thank both of my wonderful, lovely co-hosts. It's a pleasure each and every week to hang out with you guys. Like I wish more than anything we were all at least in the same place once, so we can just do like an episode like on the couch with some cameras and get that popping. So we're gonna have to do that. Not that kind of couch. Not the casting couch, but we're gonna have to do that one day. But outside of that, make sure you like, subscribe, share, everybody. To the people who haven't watched tonight, but you're going to watch in the future, like, subscribe, share, hit the alert button so that you know when we're posting another episode. Next week, remember, you can call in to talk to any one of us. You can hit us all up on socials. I know me and KP will talk to you. Kadriana has a screening process, so you may not get
I won't be able to talk to him until after Sunday.
KP will not be able to talk to anybody till after Sunday. He is having some technical difficulties.
I'm locked up. Don't let me out. Man.
But outside of that, we love you guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace. Holler at me.